It's going to be a really busy 48 hours for Dr. Taylor.
Dr. Taylor and for Soledad O'Brien going to be very busy as well, guys. We're going to get back to you. Thanks very much. Let's take a look at the votes right now. 31% of the precincts have now reported. Look at how close it is. Mitt Romney slightly at 118 votes ahead of Rick Santorum. Ron Paul right up there, though. Mitt Romney with 24%, Rick Santorum and Ron Paul 23%, Newt Gingrich 13%. Look at how close it is for the top three. The bottom three, let's bring that up and show our viewers. Rick Perry, a disappointing 10%, Michelle Bachmann, 6%, and John Huntsman, who really didn't campaign in Iowa, only 1%, 211 votes. Let's go back to the leaders right now. These are the official votes. These are not the entrance poll results. These are the official votes, and it's a three-man race right now. Almost one-third of the voting has now been counted. 7,844 votes for Mitt Romney, 7,726 for Rick Santorum, 7,655 for Ron Paul. Let's go to Dana Bash over at Ron Paul headquarters right now. I guess more and more people are coming back from their caucuses to wait for the candidate.
That's right, and we have here somebody who actually did just go vote for Ron Paul, a first-time caucus voter, Corporal Jesse Thorson, who is 28 years old, and you are active duty U.S. Army. Why did you vote for Ron Paul?
Well, I'm really excited about a lot of his ideas, especially when it comes to bringing the soldiers home. I've been serving for 10 years now, and all 10 years of those have been during wartime. I'd like to see a little peacetime Army, and I think he has the right idea.
Now, you have done 2 tours in Afghanistan. You told me you're going to go back for a third tour. I mean, if you can see your neck right there, what you have on your tattoo, 9/11, remember, and a picture of the Twin Towers. You know, some Republicans out there have been saying that Ron Paul would be very dangerous for this country because he wants to bring troops like you back from your post from all over the world.
Well, I think it would be even more dangerous to start nitpicking wars with other countries. Someone like Iran, Israel is more than capable of.
All right, we just lost our connection, unfortunately, with Dana. Dana, stand by if you can hear me. We're going to get back to you. I want to go to Candy Crowley over at Mitt Romney headquarters. People are beginning to fill up that room over there, Candy.
Now, I have another speaker, a special guest tonight. He's been with us this evening. Matter of fact, he's been with us in our campaign for quite a few years. And you may have met him because he's been around here this evening. But I'd like him to come out and say a few words. He's been serving in the military for 10 years, and he's been overseas a lot. A lot of it was in Iraq and Afghanistan. And he was on TV tonight, and he didn't quite get to finish his statement. So I've asked him if he would come out and make his comments about why he supports our foreign policy, why he is fighting for the Constitution, and what he thinks we should do. But I would like to invite out now Jesse Thorson to come out and say a few words to you. Thank you.
How about Ron Paul? If there's any man out there that's had a vision for this country, it is definitely him. His foreign policy is by far, hands down, better than any candidates out there, and I'm sure you all know that. We don't need to be picking fights overseas, and I think everybody else knows that, too. I'm flabbergasted right now. This is an incredible moment for me. I can't believe it. It's like meeting a rock star. But you know what? We're going to go to New Hampshire. We're all going to get involved. We're going to keep getting online. We're going to keep talking to people. And we are going to make sure this man is the next president of the United States.
Thank you very much. That is a powerful message. And once again, we all know where the active military people send their money when they're campaigning. They send it to our campaign for liberty, our campaign for the Constitution, our campaign for liberty of government, our campaign for personal liberty and privacy, and a wise foreign policy. The most important thing we have to remember is we want to have influence in the world. That's very important. We want to be active in the world. We want to talk to people and work to people, trade with people, and be friends with people. But what we need to realize is our ways. You know, there's people who say that we are an exceptional nation, and we certainly are and have been, but we're slipping. But this idea that our exceptionalism out of desperation say that we are so exceptional, what we must do is prove it to the world. We have to send our troops around the world and force it down their throats. If they don't do it, we'll, invade them and occupy them and force election on them. I'll tell you the best way to spread our message, and that is do our job at home. Preserve our liberties at home. Provide the free market. Have a sound currency. Balance the budget. Set an example and get the rest of the world to emulate us. That is the road to peace and prosperity. Thank you very much. Thank you.
All right, so Ron Paul, you hear him speaking to his supporters there in Iowa. He has come in third, but not very far behind the top two, Rick Santorum and Mitt Romney.
An Army reservist who participated in a rally for Ron Paul may have some legal problems. Corporal Jesse Thorson appeared with Ron Paul at a rally in Iowa on Tuesday. He told the crowd that Paul's foreign policy was better than any other candidate. But Thorson was wearing his uniform, and that is a problem. Participating in a partisan political event in uniform is a violation of rules.
And his son, the senator, in just a little while, they start a 5-stop tour here in Des Moines in a couple of hours. But one thing that we really are looking for is whether or not Ron Paul's organization can prevail. I talked to a senior Paul advisor who insists that they have enough voters ID'd, identified, that actually could give. All right, we apologize for that. We lost our connection to Dana Batch there in Des Moines, but we'll.
Good evening, everyone. The official count shows Mitt Romney won the Iowa caucuses by 8 votes.
But what if that count is wrong? The Iowa Republican Party is still in the process of certifying the results, but one Southern Iowa vote counter says when they do, they're going to discover that Rick Santorum may have actually ended up winning the Iowa caucuses. We asked our Amanda Lewis to look into it. Amanda?
Edward True says he helped count the votes at his caucus on Tuesday night. He even jotted the totals down to add to his Facebook page. But when he checked his totals against what the Republican Party was reporting, he says the total number of votes for Romney somehow went from 2 to 22.
Caucus night was chaotic in many places, with hundreds of voters, candidates showing up, and the throngs of media who followed. The world's eyes were on Iowa. But in Appanoose County, in Moulton, at the Garrett Memorial Library, a caucus of 50 people may just blow up the results.
When Mitt Romney won Iowa by 8 votes, and I've got a 20-vote discrepancy here, that right there says Rick Santorum won Iowa, not Mitt Romney.
28-year-old Edward True helped count the votes and jotted the results down on this piece of paper to post on his Facebook page later. His notes say Mitt Romney received 2 votes, but according to the Iowa Republican Party's website, True's precinct cast 22 votes for Romney.
This is huge. This essentially changes who won.
A spokeswoman for the Iowa Republican Party says True is not a precinct captain and he's not a county chair, so he has no business talking about election results. She also said they wouldn't offer any interviews on possible discrepancies until the vote is certified.
KCCI political analyst Dennis Goldford says even if the caucus results are wrong, it's not the end of the world.
This will make Iowa look a little foolish in the eyes of the rest of the country, which already questions the seriousness of the caucuses. But in terms of Santorum's results here, the caucuses have made him a player in presidential politics. And if he should nudge ahead of Governor Romney for the final certified results, that's not going to make really any significant difference at this point.
True, who says he's a Ron Paul supporter, hopes it was a simple mistake.
I imagine it's a good possibility somebody, instead of hitting 2, might have hit 22 by accident.
But he says he won't stop talking about it until the state, by his count, gets the numbers right.
I personally witnessed being counted and assisted in counting and am certain are right.
True said there was one other mistake. The Iowa GOP reports there are a total of 79 votes cast at his caucus, but only 53 people attended that night, he said. He said 20 of the non-existent votes went to Romney, but he has no idea where they counted an additional 6.
So True contacted Iowa Republican officials about this?
He said he did, and they knew who he was when I called, but they declined to comment.
Not going to say anything about it?
Not until the votes are certified.
And we'll wait for that for about a week and a half or so, right?
Yeah.
Amanda, thank you.